always, every Thrash on Cover's channel at YouTube. At the time of recording this video, it is Friday, late Friday, 7:51 p.m. Whatever. You won't get to see this video until Monday. Wow, it's not like I'm recording a freaking suicide video. What's playing in the background is, of course, Stand Up and Fight. Just a classic new wave of British heavy metal album. If you saw my top 15 best albums of from 1977, I listed their first album from 1977 in that list. And obviously, I kind of said that while I like that album, this one right here that's playing is my favorite from them. This album is just great from start to finish. Anyways, this video is all about Deluxe Edition reissues from at least either Sanctuary Records or whatever. Anything that has the that little slip, that see-through slip thing that says Deluxe Edition, that pretty much lets you know that it's a Deluxe Edition. So that's pretty much, I only got about 5, but yeah, I obviously giving that up. I have only about 5, but obviously they're the way that they're packaged, the way that they're made, it's obviously enough to fill up a video. So we're going with 2006. I think almost around the time that I guess that these reissues were starting to come, these style. First one was Def Leppard's Hysteria. That's kind of, I think you might have seen these, I don't know, but obviously they're housed in a little slippy. They're a digipack, so the discs and whatever, they're not bad. Booklet. Yeah, not bad really. For some of the stuff that gets added in, it's worth at least purchasing. It's definitely not my favorite Def Leppard album, of course, since you probably should know by now of my review for their newest album that really it's the first 2 albums that are really the ones that I really like the most. But there's the only ones that are good here is their re-recording of Ride Into the Sun, which is one of the earliest Def Leppard songs that they decided to re-record for this just, I guess it was a B-side for one of them, because it's bonus tracks to the disc one. It's also got some other extra shit, even some remixes, including an extended version of Pour Some Sugar on Me. So, of course, you have to hear that song in full. Anyways, that's the first in line of at least deluxes that I have, at least for early ones. Now it's time to get to at least some of the meat. Of course, it wouldn't be a deluxe edition video without bringing this classic album up. Motorhead's second official full-length album. This is really, even in its deluxe edition form, is still worth listening to all the way through. It's nothing but killer songs, obviously. It's got some, guess I can also open this up. Of course. Yeah, this one's kind of beat, so that I've purchased it since, had this since 2009. And obviously, this is, of course, with the late, great Filthy Animal, or Phil Taylor, on drums. And of course, there he is in the middle. Booklet, of course. Yeah, the book, they're like, obviously I think there is definitely a difference, because this one's a little more lighter, and a little lighter, maybe even fuzzier, because they obviously made the cover for this one a little greener. But, so there's some cool bonus tracks on here. It's like got various different versions of their cover of, what's Louie Louie. It's got also alternate version of Tear You Down, an instrumental version of Tear You Down, and a B-side version of Tear You Down. But it's got Too Late, which was the B-side to the Overkill 7-inch, and which was also covered by Metallica. Then it's got two versions of Like a Nightmare. Here's a very bizarre the only thing I've noticed with this copy. When I don't know if it's with every one, but apparently I always thought this is just weird, but it's got two versions of Like a Nightmare, which is a killer song. Obviously, that and Tear You Down should have just been added to the original album itself, just especially Like a Nightmare. But the alternative version apparently got switched, so I pretty much thought the alternative version was the version I was at as a B-side, but no, the B-side is actually for just this whatever. I don't know if it was a manufacturing or was the alternative version was apparently listed as the B-side version. Must have been a manufacturer error or something. But obviously, it's a killer song. Like a Nightmare. Obviously, the B-side version is the best one, because it's just. It really should have been added on the album. It's just a killer song. And it's got also the one thing that's pretty cool about the deluxe edition of these Motorhead reissues, especially is the BBC John Peel session, which is pretty good. Then you got the BBC in concert 1979. Pretty short concert, pretty much just plays songs mostly from the album itself. But it's just a really cool little live concert, obviously, just playing tracks. But what's definitely sound like it was played in front of at least a small crowd, whatever. But it's just fucking raw Motorhead. What else can you ask for? Next one in the lines of it is that I have for Deluxe Editions is Motorhead's 1982 classic Iron Fist. Another raw, just classic sounding Motorhead, really. What can this one's pretty beat to hell, though. I'll have to say this copy's been beat. I've had this since 2009. Yeah, obviously trying to turn like a gatefold, whatever. And here's the booklet. I've also been failing to mention that the liner notes in here, like, it's got a little detailed, a little review of the album as well from, oh, I gotta look his name up. Shit, what's his name? From Malcolm Dome. Very, just a, got some, it's a pretty cool little review of practically the album, or overview. The bonus tracks to this is it's got the B-side, one of Remember Me, I'm Gone, but it also includes the Live in Toronto Maple Leaf Gardens May 1982 show in audio, not the V8, not the DVD, whatever. It would have been cool if it was a DVD instead of an audio, but just raw Motorhead. What can you ask for? It's Motorhead live. The only thing that's also pretty cool about it is, of course, Lemmy's bantering shit. I forgot to put the singing back in. Just his bantering as well is pretty funny, especially, oh geez, I forgot what song it was, but he goes in and says something, he noticed something in the crowd and says, what's going on there? Oh, just a little harmless horseplay. That's definitely one good thing about these live shows is definitely just the fucking bantering from the vocalists, whatever. One thing that a studio album just can't really seem to catch unless you really want to bring up the beginning for I Won't Pay You a Price for Let Me Just pretty much says I'm so drunk. Coming in another one, those were released in 2008 because they were originally released in 2005 as expanded edition from Sanctuary, but Universal decided to repress them as deluxe editions. A part of the Deluxe Edition series, whatever. But in 2009, the White Snakes slided in the Anniversary Edition, but as a part of the Deluxe Edition series. And of course, again, like with most of these Deluxe Editions, it's as usual. These Deluxe Editions, though, I have to say, are just fucking gigantic. They're like, they're fucking monsters most of the time. And of course, there's booklet. Let me show that for a bit as well. Kind of the original artwork, obviously, for the album. As far as bonus tracks go, it just pretty much, it doesn't really use the full they don't even put the full UK mix of the album. It's just half of the stuff. They just, the only songs that are taken off from there are the UK mixes for Love Ain't No Stranger and Hungry for Love. I don't know. If I have to really choose between which mix I like the most, I actually like the UK mix. It's a little raw, and plus John Lord's parts, whatever, are not fucked with. But the only thing that's because the UK mixes feels more like a Whitesnake album, really, in ways. Even though the US mix is definitely good, because the only thing that's different between them is the guitar parts. US mix uses John Sykes' guitar parts, and the UK mix pretty much uses oh shit. Do I have to fucking don't tell me. I think I have to freaking look up the guitar player. You know what? I'm not gonna. Yeah, this video is gonna be pretty long. Shit. Alright. Here we go. Mickey Moody. I think it was his guitar parts that were kind of. I think were the one that were taken out, or was it Mel Gay? I think it was Mickey Moody's, who was one of the original members of White Snake from when they formed. But I think it was his guitar parts, because obviously by this time, David Coverdale was definitely decided to be more corporate, almost practically corporate, obviously. The reason I use the word corporate is because he just seems to, it's like now all of a sudden just becomes more David Coverdale than really White Snake. And that's the reason why I kind of prefer the original albums the most, is because of it feels more like White Snake than just David Coverdale and a bunch of backing members feeding his ego. The last deluxe edition I have was released in 2010. That's, of course, Angel Witch. Dude, I kind of botched that last thing up, Angel Witch. Yeah, they're self-titled. Of course, what else can be said about this? It's a classic new wave of British heavy metal album. This sound can be put next to, as far as youthfulness, to like Iron Maiden's first album, or shit. I guess even, no, I don't want to say Saxon, because I think Iron Maiden and Angel Witch kind of are almost similar in ways, but, or even like Tigers of Pantang's first album, but Angel Witch is definitely more cool Iron Maiden sound. But of course, just fucking badass, really, in ways, because just the pictures, of course, just classic, even photos of Kevin Heborn and bass player. And of course, there's like the original, practically the original back cover of the album. Yeah, it's a classic. As far as bonus tracks, this is probably, in ways, probably the ultimate copy of the album, because it just adds a bunch of demos, really early versions of songs. It's practically an anthology in ways, like the anthology of their early years and such, because it's got Baphomet, like I think 2 versions of it. Extermination Day got 2 versions, the demo version and the BBC version. Yeah, adds the whole BBC Friday Rock Show session, 14th March 1980. There's a bunch of 12-inch single B-sides as well. This is just, it's got a ton of stuff, really. For some reason, I kind of like this one more so than the 20th anniversary edition copy, where it didn't feature a lot of these bonus tracks, because this does add some more additional ones to it. But again, it's a pretty cool packaging as well. In ways, if you're not a fan of digipacks, you're might be disappointed with it, but it's just more worth having for all that extra songs and such, like the extra bonus track, like the demos and such that sometimes you can't really get even as downloads, whatever. You have to, sometimes the only way to get them is definitely with these reissues, or even whenever High Roller Records does. Now, as far on the subject of Angel Witch, I would like to see some reissues of Frontal Assault and even Screaming and Bleeding. Those two albums are also just some fucking good ones. Really, I don't think I've heard really a bad Angel Witch album. Anyway, that's pretty much all the deluxe editions that I have, and obviously I needed a video to kill time, so I decided to show off my deluxe edition copies of some of these albums. So that pretty much does it for this video. I probably will do another one tomorrow because I'm gonna do like a little collection updates. This will be for some 2 albums, but I'm definitely gonna have enough to talk about, whatever. So that pretty much does it for this video. So this is Heavy Thrash saying I am out.